Hey everyone, welcome back to this episode of the Paddle Talk podcast presented by World Sand Drag News. As always, it is episode 98, believe it or not. We've made it this far, hopefully full steam ahead for some more coming up, but great to have you along for this episode. We appreciate it and can't wait to dive right in. We've got some results from Dome Valley Raceway as well as results from the Battle of the Belts down at Atoka Motorsports Park. We have season points results also from Atoka and from Dome Valley for the Arizona Sand Drag Shootout. So going to be a great episode. And then we've got some news and views to get things all wrapped up. So thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for tuning in. And without further ado, here we go. And this episode of Paddle Talk, just like every episode, brought to you by the fine folks at Racing in the Dirt. With over 40 years of experience, Racing in the Dirt ready to take your mud, sand, or dirt drag race team to the next level. So let them get involved today. Everything from components, meaning wheels, tires, brake kits, wheelie bars, cages, all the way up to rolling chassis, even turnkey race cars. Racing in the Dirt, ready to help your dreams come true. So give them a call today. Area code 920-693-2000. That's area code 920-693-2000. Or you can find them on Facebook or find them at racinginthedirt.com. That's racinginthedirt.com. And they UPS daily. That's Racing in the Dirt. And Caleb has a couple other sponsors for us.
Yeah, so one of the places you guys can take one of those awesome Racing in the Dirt's chassis or parts and components and go and actually put them to good use is Silverback Offroad Speedway, located in Mears, Michigan. Their 2025 season's wrapped up, but you can be sure to bet that the 2026 season is going to be one to remember, with tons of different events going on at Silverback Offroad Speedway, between some sand drags, some hill climbs, some short course racing, tons of different series like Texas Mud Drags, Pro Truck Nationals, the Outlaw Sand Drag Series, all go and run events up there. R3 is a big event out there with taking advantage of that multi-use facility. You guys can take a look and make sure you are ready to go for the 2026 schedule by visiting them at silverbackspeedway.com or check them out on their socials, Silverback Offroad Speedway. And once they get their 2026 schedule up and running, if you have any questions, you can give them a call at area code 231-629-6379. That's 231-629-6379. Audrey, you got the next one? No? Still a little bit away from being able to talk? Okay, cool. We're going to go and talk about Silverback Off-Road Rentals. So if you guys are already visiting the Mears, Michigan track, their Silverback Off-Road Speedway, the Silver Lake Sand Dunes are just a step away. And what better way to enjoy those than with Silverback Off-Road Rentals? Premium ATVs, side-by-sides, and Jeeps available to rent, making it super easy to go and enjoy the Silver Lake Sand Dunes. 2026 season kicks off April 1st. So if you guys are out there at the Silverback Off-Road Speedway, jump over and enjoy the dunes with Silverback Off-Road Rentals. Last but not least, we want to thank 3-1 Go Life. You can visit them on YouTube, where you can see Doug Vinlett and the crew talk about all things sand drags, trucking, and everything in between, from working on the race cars and the big rigs to some little trash talk on the Dirt podcast. Go and visit them at 3-1 Go Life. That's the number 3, 1 spelled out, O-N-E, Go Life on YouTube. 3-1 Go Life.
All right, so let's dive right in. Derek Howard, thanks for joining us, buddy. And let's jump right into the Battle of the Belts this past weekend at Atoka Motorsports Park. Let's first talk about, how do you get to race in the Battle of the Belts?
When our season starts in March, all the way up till, actually you have until we have run a money race in November, which is when we have the Battle of the Belt. If you have a first or second place finish in any class from juniors all the way up to, we didn't have top alcohol this year, but if we offered top alcohol, but nobody entered it. So top eliminator all the way down to juniors. If you have a first or second place finish from March all the way up till November, you're qualified for the belt race. So that's how you get entered.
All right. And there is sportsman and pro, correct?
Yes. When we get to the Battle of the Belt, there's a pro tree side of the ladder and a sportsman tree side of the ladder. And pro tree side of the ladder and full tree side of the ladder. We run those. The tree is split, so the pro tree side, it has their fair advantage. The sportsman person has their advantage. So, and so far it's worked out well. I think we've ran this format the last 2 years,
I
possibly
think
3.
that's super cool, Derek. I mean, you don't see too many races where they have one side of the tree on sportsman, one side of the tree on pro. I do have one question as far as the qualification for that. So obviously with this, you've got you have to win or runner up in any of the normal classes at Atoka in order to qualify.
Yes.
If somebody is entered into multiple classes, multiple wins throughout the season, do they get entries on either side of that ladder? Do they have to be like double eliminated? How do you work, or is it just you qualify, you're in?
Unfortunately, you only get say you race like Axel Smithhart. He's in 3 classes, so actually qualified in 3 different classes. He only got to pick one vehicle. You only get to
Gotcha.
pick one vehicle that you want to race.
Oh.
And say you ran one top eliminator like Wade Schultz won his in top eliminator. He could run it side by side. It don't matter what vehicle you run. Your name is what gets you qualified. So you can pick anything you want to. Because
Gotcha. So pick any vehicle, and then if you qualified for both a pro and a sport light class, then you have the option to go whichever way you want with that too.
That's correct.
Super
But
cool.
one entry is all you get.
Yeah. So how many guys did you guys have qualified this year for the belt race?
I did count them, but I've already threw that sheet of paper away. It was 86, I think. It was between 85 and 90, somewhere in that area is what actually qualified as far as racers. We ended up having 18 entries on the pro side of the ladder and 28 on the full tree, which there's only 2 classes that run a pro tree and 4 that run the full tree. So we had 46 total entries when we got into eliminations of the belt race.
Wow. That's still impressive. That's a lot of cars. So, all right. So give us some of the highlights, some of the people that maybe multiple times were eligible for the belt race.
Of course, Axel Smithhart had multiple entries in it. Roy Cooper, because he won Pro 2. He runs Pro 1, Pro 2, and Pro 3 quads. John Acker was another one that had multiple wins in different classes. Haven't talked to John, but John was not there this weekend. I think that's basically all that had multiple entries that I can think of off the top of my head.
All right. Well, take us to what ended up being the finals in like the pro class, if you can, and if in the sportsman class, and then take us to the final of sportsman versus pro.
Okay. First, we did a Pee Wee class to get us started that day. We had 12 entries in our Pee Wee class, and the 2025 champion, Lucas Pate, did win that race. And he defeated Hagen Humphreys. Hagen's pretty new this year, but the last few races I've been seeing this Hagan Humphreys on the either in the runner-up position going to the semifinals. So I think Hagan, if they run the full season next year, will be one to contend with. And then we didn't have a trophy class this race, so we went straight into the money class races. And if you were um, not qualified yet, if a first or second, you were eligible to get in the belt race. So on the money class, I'll start with Pro One cars. We had 23 entries, which I thought was pretty good. Because we had several normals that were missing. First place went to Laura Fearham Hall. She just recently got married. Believe this was her first win in Pro One cars since 2020 when she won the points championship. So it's been a long dry spell for Laura. Proud of her. Glad she got that win. And she defeated Chris Jackson in that final. Then in Pro One quads, we had 11 entries. It was a father and son matchup. It was Randy Kimbley Jr. actually defeated Randy Kimbley Sr.
Oh,
What?
I think a little trash talking went on in
you
that
think?
final. So, but it was good because Randy wants to get his kids more involved, and he was really happy to see his son take the win.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Then Pro 2 card, we had 16 entries in that class. First went to Scott Melsbury. This was his first time even visiting our track. He came all the way from Wyoming. He called me earlier in the week to see if he could race. I said, all we could have will be a test and tune and a money race. And then you're going to have to win first or second to get in the belt race. And he done just that. He took first.
Wow.
He defeated Jimmy Smith in that final round. So glad to have Scott and his team out. He did text me later. We texted back and forth today, and he was very happy with our facility and our staff, and he hopes to come back. So
Awesome.
that's all good to hear that we must be doing something right. So
That's right.
we like to hope he can make it back next year or sometime in the future. Pro 2 quads, 15 entries in this class, and that class has kind of been struggling around 8 to 10, so glad to see 15 entries at our last race. Lonnie Holman from Lano, he got the win. He defeated Nevaeh Merkel. Nevaeh had only started one race this year, entered the trophy class, won it, got qualified for the belt, and took some time off. Her grandparents actually came in for this weekend, and she decided to race and made it all the way to the final.
Nice.
I'm just going to say this now. If Nevaeh runs the 2026 season, she's my pick to win the championship. I picked her back in 23, and she battled all the way till, well, that was a year she was a senior. She missed the May race and then the July race. I think if she would have entered later on, she would have won the championship because she just barely lost it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she graduated high school. She's had a baby, so she's had some time off, but 3 starts this year, a win, a runner up, and a semifinals is not too bad.
No, not bad at all. Wow.
Pro 3 quads, 7 entries. First was Calvin Bird and Josiah Westmoreland got second. Neither of those racers were even qualified for the Battle of the Belt. Both of them put themselves into the race with the first and a second. So that took care of all the money race results. So then we started the belt race. Like I said earlier, 18 entries on the pro tree side of the ladder. That pro tree side of the ladder came down to Brad Civils and Derek Holman to see who would make the final. Those two battled it out all year. They were first and second in the points. Derek Holman took the win. I guess Brad's trained him too good because they're kind of the student. It's Brad's former car, and It was a great race. I believe Brad broke out. Derek had a 95 dialed in, 395, and ran a 396, if I remember correctly. So that put Derek Holman as one of the finalists. The full tree side of the ladder, 28 entries. Kason Schull and Stephanie Smithhart battled for that side of the ladder. Kason Schull's in the Jeep Cherokee. Stephanie Smithhart's on her Pro 2 quad. She was of the final four. She was the only quad still left in the race. Unfortunately, Stephanie went red and had to take that little red light medallion home with her.
Oh.
I don't think she was this real happy with that. And the final round, Derek and Kaysen battled it out with Derek Coleman getting the win. So that was a really good final. I think Derek ran another 396 on that 395 dial. Not for sure exactly what Kaysen ran, but Derek Coleman won the Pro 1 car championship and the Battle of the Belt.
Wow. That's really impressive that how many guys managed to get through the money race and punch their ticket into the belts that weren't actually, in it before that day. That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Derek, you also mentioned that red light medallion. I know you guys had a couple other different awards that you guys were taking some voting on. Do you have the results of all of those too?
I actually do. You want to go through them? We can go through them.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Okay. MVP, which the way we do MVP is most points scored. That went to Randy Kimbley. He scored 195 points. So he is our MVP for 2025. We gave an Ironman award out that honors the driver who showed the most endurance and grit. We gave that to Derek Holman. I think he proved that by winning Pro 1 championship and then the Battle of the Belt, which we didn't know he was going to win the Battle of the Belt when we gave that award away. We had one for best attitude. We gave that to Terry Parker from Texas. Most improved driver. We gave that to Clyde Qualls. Clyde came out last year, kind of struggled, Pro 2 cars. This year got, I know, a win and a couple runner-ups, and he also cut a perfect light. He's 80 years old, and he drives that black Altima in Pro 2 cars.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh
So-
yeah, that thing's cool.
He's really stepped up his program. He was in contention for the championship with Jessica and Axel. He ended up finishing third in points, so he's going to be tough again next year. So
That's impressive, man. At that age, not gonna lie, that's really impressive.
yes. Then we had a Track Mom of the Year award. Jerry Capel won it. She runs the You Bragging page, if some of y'all may follow that. She also makes sure I get something to eat, drink, anything I need. So she's my other mom, so she won that. Fan favorite, Laura Fearham Hall. She always brings a large crowd with her. Everybody loves Laura, so she won that award. Most dedicated, longest distance traveled that comes consistently. That went to also the Parkers, Terry and Brian Parker. They have the old yellow dog, the blackout, and they just got a new one, a little loony mud car. So Never Give Up award went to Michael Hilburn. He's one of our Pro 1 quads. He's there every month, and it seems like he just has bad luck, but he's out there trying to go round. So I gave that to Michael Hilburn. Most strategic racer went to Brad Civils. If you know Brad, he will study everything to try to get that advantage, and he's a tough racer. Best Smile. I knew y'all talked about this one. Our last episode. That went to Chris Jackson from Texas. He's won this 2 out of 3 years. So congratulations to Chris. And if you've seen those red light videos that Jerry Capple's doing, he's on there 3 times, and he's got that big old smile on there. Best trash talker went to Daniel Baker, one of our Pro 1 car racers. Best sportsmanship award went to Wyatt Rainey, another Pro 1 car racer. Unsung Hero Award, that went to John Pate. And Rookie of the Year went to Sarah Baker. Junior Racer of the Year went to Bodie Smithhart. Top Young Gun Racer Award winner was Cameron Pate. And the In It to Win It Award, a determined mindset to succeed or win, went to Jessica Powell. And that was the 17 awards that we gave out. They got a gift card. They was all in envelopes. None of them knew what they were getting. Random draw and a gift bag. And they did not know what was in it, so they picked. They got to kind of pick, and then they could trade if they wanted to. So that's how we done the award ceremony.
Oh
Nice,
man, I would
man.
love to have seen all the bartering back and forth with the awards with that.
Right?
Like a white elephant gift exchange over awards.
Yep.
Exactly. No, that's awesome, man. I love it. That is really cool. So that, Derek, does that pretty much wrap up the season then at this point?
Our season is done.
Our season
No.
is done. All right.
Yes, sir.
What we're gonna have to have you back at some point in time so you give us the 5,000-foot view of the 2025 season, how you felt it went, and that sort of thing. And looking forward to 2026. So,
Gotcha.
all right, man. Well, hey, thanks for being on. As always, we really appreciate it. Appreciate everything you bring to Atoka and that you bring out of the podcast there, man.
I appreciate y'all having me on and everything y'all do for the sport and keep us going.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks again, Derek.
All right. Thank y'all.
All right. All right. So turning the page a little bit, we are headed for the Dome Valley Raceway Arizona Sand Drag Shootout from this past weekend. On site was Mr. Caleb Mings, Mr. Steven Fangmeyer, and not the, what are we calling it? The pinata version, the real version of Joseph Weaver. How are we doing, gents?
Good. By the
Very
way,
good.
called Joey the Pinata Man all weekend long, and Kenny Hayes was a massive fan of that.
I bet he was. Oh, man. That's awesome. I'll bet Kenny was proud as punch, too.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. He felt that Joey earned that nickname by way of his hard work. So
Yeah.
As you know, as opposite end of the spectrum, Kenny goes on vacation after Avenel and just shows up to race again. Yeah, nice.
yeah, real rough. He
Yeah.
spent the week in the central coast of California. So just down the street from where they launch all those SpaceX rockets from.
Oh boy. Oh man. All right. So take us through the Dome Valley race. So what do we start? What, Thursday was a little test and tune maybe, or what did we do?
Oh, a little bit, some unofficial stuff, but everything really kicked off Friday. Test and tune in the morning, and then we run the index classes and qualifying rounds 1 and 2 for all the heads up guys. Saturday is the sport classes, and rounds 3 and 4 are qualifying. And then Sunday is the pro classes and the elimination rounds for all the heads up stuff. And pretty much the common theme of the weekend is you didn't want to be the points leader going in because pretty much every points leader got taken out early. And anybody that lined up against Joey Weaver was going to lose. That was the theme of the weekend.
Now, was this because of the pinata or the chocolate milk?
Yes.
We'll say this. That Saturday night, it was because of Pinata Man, and the person who made the pinata made sure that he got his whack because I drew him first round and he gave it to me.
The only race Joey lost all weekend long was first round of Gambler, and I believe that was the
Friday
Kenny
night.
Reed, right? Friday night.
Yep. Friday night.
So you drew Kenny first round and proceeded to lose to him.
Oh, I didn't proceed to lose to anything. He took his walking stick and beat the shit out of me with it.
Oh my word! Of all the people to lose,
Yeah,
to get beat up by, that's the one he went to.
that's the one it went to, and
But
that's
to
just
be fair, Joey got his revenge more than one time throughout the weekend because that
Yes,
was the only race that Joey lost the entire weekend
Nice.
in four classes and two gamblers, something like that, right, Joey?
450, Sport 1, Pro 2, Pro 3, yes.
Okay, so let's get to what Friday Night Gambler. Is that where you're racing Quintero?
No, that was Saturday night.
Okay.
So
right.
Friday we start off with 450 index. Mind you, I kind of learned a little bit of something at Avenal that I turned the Jeep, the two-step on the Jeep, I turned it down like 3,000 RPM, and I just rode it out. Mind you, my Jeep runs low 420s at Dome. So I ran it out, and I was probably, me and Clayton Teeters were probably at the bottom of the qualifying list because I went 419. And he was probably, I think he went 425. So both of us were on the bottom of the ladder. First round comes around, and I draw Jared Fauché.
That's a tough draw.
And I'm
point leader by a mile going into that race.
yeah, he already had the boat, he already had the package. He was boat up. It was basically just a race for second in points. And I beat Jared. Can't remember who else I raced, but it ended up with me winning 450, which just makes everybody mad because they think I should be over in 395, not 450. And then we go into Saturday or Friday afternoon with the Gambler Friday night, and the ladder comes out, and lo and behold, Mr. Pinata himself, I raced Kenny. He laid it to me, and it's all right, cool. Time to go back and regroup.
So
Saturday,
did we have ATV Gambler as well on Friday?
Yeah.
All right. What did we have for ATV classes Friday then? Let's talk about those two, and then we'll move to Saturday. I promise.
all right.
We had my dad going out and just being dumb first round. That's what we had. But we had some regulars in the Friday Gambler for the ATVs. We saw Tyler Hanrahan and Marcus Rydell in the final, and Tyler, after he had been out for a whole season, he came to the April race in Dome. That was his first race back all year, and he did well there, and then took first in the Gambler on Friday.
We also had the 395 index ATV on Friday, and top two in points coming into the weekend went out first round, and Shane Crum went on to win the whole thing, to win the points championship and the event by about 10 points.
Wow. All right, Caleb, as soon as you said your dad did something dumb, I saw Damien's hand go up. Now, I don't know if this is going to reference the mini bike or something else, but I think he's got a question. So, Caleb, Damien, have at it.
So after going out there in March of this year, is that a regular thing for him the first race of the weekend to just do something dumb?
I don't know. Sometimes he just gets in his head and he just makes a bonehead mistake, and I don't know. But he hasn't had very good luck with that Friday Gambler the last couple of events.
No, he has not, from what I've seen.
In April, he won the Friday Gambler and the Saturday Gambler, if I remember right.
Oh,
that's true.
Damien was not present then.
Maybe it's Damien.
Maybe
I wasn't
it is.
there for this past one, so.
Were you watching though?
No.
All right. Okay, we'll let you go. All right, on to Saturday, gents. Who wants to take the lead on that?
So Saturday we ran Sport 1, car and ATV, Sport 2, car and ATV. Sport One car, Mr. Weaver here, ran them over.
Ooh.
Absolutely
Literally ran him over.
ran them over.
So going into Saturday, I'm 100 out of first. And the person who's in first shows up with a new car. They couldn't get it quite ready to run to first round. So basically what that means is that Mr. Weaver's got to go and win sport. The first person I draw is Kenny's wife, Linda.
Ooh. You are just spreading the love to the whole family.
So like I said, Joey got his payback.
Cool. Yeah. So the sport class was quite interesting. So I have her, and she's uncharacteristically red, which is not it's not like Linda. She's either, and then mind you, this is in high gear off the foot brake. She's anywhere between probably 10 and 40 consistently.
Whoa.
She's 125 red.
Good.
Yeah, it was red.
She's 120. She was 125 red. I was 001 green.
Mm.
So I'm like, okay, going into round two. I have a single round two. I go 3 red. I'm like, okay, well, all right.
Take what you can get.
So it's on a single. I'll take the 3 red as on a single any day. Round 3, I drew Israel Quintero. And I'm like, okay, well, tell myself, wait. You got to wait for the third light to come on, then let go of the button.
By the way, Israel won 395 on Friday, and I believe he won the Gambler on Friday as well. So Israel.
No, Braden won the Gambler. It was Braden and David.
Yeah, Braden and David.
So Israel runs a small block Chevy powered Jeep that Larry Miner built. That's just gorgeous and fast.
Yeah, let's talk about that thing a minute. Whose is that? Did that only
Dave Huffman.
Only his Jeep, or whose Jeep was that?
That was Dave Huffman's Jeep.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
The blue Pro Mod car.
Yes. Yep. All right. Now I know what you're talking. Okay.
So I draw him third round. Tell myself, you gotta wait. I'm 006 dead 1.
Whoa.
7 total. I'm like, all right, cool. And at this point, I'm like, okay, well, on to the final against Alyssa Atkins is her name, Steven, correct? The one that was driving the T-Bucket for the first time?
Yeah, she'd been racing in Pro ATV all year on a Banshee, and over the summer they picked her up and altered, and so she made the jump, and she went all the way to the final in her first race.
Whoa.
Ford powered, by the way.
Yeah,
so you know,
nice.
all about that Ford powered.
Is
the underground.
I didn't see it. Is it a nice altered? I mean,
I would say, yeah.
They picked it up. I'll say, I'm trying to remember. It was a local Arizona car. It was kind of in rough shape when they picked it up, but they cleaned it up pretty nice.
Yeah, they stripped it down to the frame. They sandblasted and painted the frame. The body's painted like this pearlescent white with all purple accents. It looks good.
Nice.
It looks good.
Cool.
She was dialed 412, I think is what it was. She changed her dial to 412 or 415 against me. So we go up there. It's the final, and I'm like, all right, well, this is for all the marbles. If you don't win this round, like you're just the bridesmaid. So I go up there. She turns her top light on. I turn my top light on. She turns her second light on. I turn my second light on, and she rolls through the beams.
Oh.
Mind you, at this point, I have my finger on the button. I've got my foot to the floor. And at this point, I feel kind of like confused. I seen her roll through the beams, and I'm like, well, what do I do? Do I let go of the button? Do I go green? Do I just take my foot off the gas and just roll. I don't know. Honestly, I just kind of dumbfounded, I guess. I just, okay, cool. You're the Sport 1 champion. And you won the class.
That's awesome, man. I love it.
And
So
then,
also, sorry, go ahead, Joey.
go ahead.
Is that also on Saturday we wrapped up all the heads up classes and for qualifying. And I will say this, I've said this before, I believe that Dome Valley's top eliminator class is probably one of the toughest around. Well, gentlemen, they took that and they raised that up a bar. We had 17 top eliminator cars show up, and the top 11 were less than 100th apart in qualifying. It was absolute. You had to do what you had to do to run the number, or you were going to have to run the gauntlet on Sunday.
Wow.
And
it was a Shark Tank. It wasn't a. We're not all on sale at PetSmart in the Goldfish tank.
we had
Definitely.
Paul Graham and his excavator buggy. He was number one qualifier at 2.2951. Eric Brown out of Utah was 2.966. Pruitt Schultz was 2.966, but lost 2 mile an hour to give Brown the number 2 spot. Wade Schultz was 9.73. Vicky Hall was 9.75. Cody Hoffman, that's an actual A fuel car that he runs in Top Eliminator, was 9.75. Brock was 9.9. Sorry, Hoffman was 9.81. Brock was 9.94. Tommy Zavala there out of Arizona was 001. Terry Crawford 009. Tristan Graham in that whiskey business buggy 029. Damon Hall 043. And then we're finally more than 100th back when we get to Kylie Graham, and she was 060. So
Or
it was
10th, you mean?
Yes.
No, 100th or 10th, yeah. But yeah, it was
That's still crazy though. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously. And the caliber of cars up there, all those cars are capable of taking home a 295 win.
yeah, for sure. I mean, even 13th through 17th, like Eric Hickey was out there with their altered that runs fast. He had motor issues. Mark Punos, who's been a champ in that division, had motor issues. Bill Walling had motor issues. Jim Nafsinger had motor issues. So there was a bunch of guys that were at the bottom of that qualifying list that realistically could have been in the top 5, and nobody would have been surprised about it.
Yep. No, I would agree. I would 100% agree. So, all right. So have we wrapped up Saturday now?
No.
Oh, I do want to talk about speaking of the heads up qualifying while we keep going through that. You guys probably have all seen the post of it, but probably the save of the year from any track, I would say. Nick Schultzman, man, in that Blue Bayou altered. We all kind of were, half track and stuff, and bunch of dust kicking up, and we're like, we didn't really see what happened. Luckily, a spectator actually got a video of it, and he had that thing about as over on its side as you could possibly get an altered and not roll the thing.
I can't believe that thing didn't have more damage to it than it did. I mean, seriously.
Literally nothing was wrong with it, and Nick himself was fine. He got a little cut on his top of his hand just from everything that he was fighting in the car and trying to pull the chutes and get the brake and turn it and keep it off the wall and everything. So it was just an absolute miracle that he ended up okay. The car ended up okay. So yeah, if you guys are listening to this podcast and haven't seen it, go check it out. We've got it on all the socials and stuff, and you will not believe that car did not roll at the end of that.
I mean,
totally. If it had not gone airborne, I think it would have gone over.
Yeah, and we're not talking a slow car either. I mean,
no,
that
he went like
car,
270 something.
Yeah, I
on
mean,
that pass even.
That's a motor and pass right there, and somehow it gets that far up the guardrail and that out of shape. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was 277.5.
He was
on-
motoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and he admitted that he went and overdrove the car, and he was a little bit cautious the rest of the weekend, making sure that he was not getting that far over to the wall, because he definitely did not want a repeat of that. I mean, they've had just tons of issues with that car since they got that new Hemi power plant in there, and between blowing up the motor one race and the transmission the other one, and he's like, I don't want to wreck the whole car. So
Right. My goodness.
But,
All right.
yeah, kudos to them for stepping back.
We also had, he's not going to talk about himself. We might as well bring it up. Mr. Mings over here won on Saturday. He won the Sport 2 ATV and was second in Sport 1 ATV. So
Yeah,
good job there, buddy.
Nice. Very nice, Caleb.
yeah. The Sport 1 ATV. I gotta talk about this one because it was just a very bizarre final. So we get Tyler and I. Tyler ended up taking the class win. So he was hot off that gambler win on Friday, and we both made a dial-in change right before the final. It was starting to get a little cooler and stuff, so we were like, "Hey, we just want to go a little touch quicker." And so we gave our dial-in changes. They gave us a call to fire up. We start to pull out, and then they call us off, and we're like, "Oh crap, what's going on? Are they going to go and do a round of top eliminator right now for their final qualifying session?" And no, they had a test and tune pass for another new car on the property with Kenzie Rex. So this is track promoter S1 Oris's dragster, totally new power plant in the back of that dragster, and so she was out there for a quick test pass. So it was like, okay, cool, shut them off, test pass for the dragster. Okay, start it back up. We bring them up to the line, and then both our dial-ins were not correct. They had our previous dial-ins because I think in a mix-up there, they were sending up the wrong times. They had somebody else giving them the times after they had already gotten our new ones. So we're both like, hey, wait. And they're, trying to get everything situated and trying to communicate with us. And, our bikes are still running. Finally got up to the line with the correct dials. And everything going on with that, I normally don't let stuff like this get to me, but I was just dead late because of everything going on. Tyler had an awesome pass, so it would have been really, tough to beat him on there. He had a good light, ran on his dial with the dial-in change, but yeah, just dead slow. I was probably, trying to drink some of that chocolate milk of Joey's, something like that. Applying, I was sleeping.
Making a
got
sandwich at the starting line.
Oh, big time sandwich. But the Sport 2 win, that was good. Got that over Marcus Rydell.
Nice. All right, so let's go to Sunday, and
we're not done yet.
Oh,
jump right over the gambler for the cars on Saturday night.
Oh, fine. All right.
There was no shortage of storylines this weekend. Not whatsoever.
Isaac going full bike guy, just trying to skip the cars now.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
get
Like
right to the heads up
first,
stuff. Enough
like
of this bracket business.
Like he wants to be first out on Sunday morning or something like that.
Well, I mean, isn't that your lot as a bike guy?
That's over, bud. That's been over for about 2.5 years. So we roll into Gambler Saturday, and I want to say one of the rounds I think I did race Kenny. Actually, I did race him, I think, in the drag Jeep, and I got that was the second time I got my revenge this weekend. He was in the black car, and he said it's really hard when you get down to the high end of the racetrack at Dome, especially if you're in the left lane and you kind of look right, the lights can get you, but it is pretty dark down there. And he said he told me that he couldn't see the finish line of where it was, so he might have ripped it once too many times and gave it back to me.
But gave it back?
Yeah. So we go along and we get in the final, and good old buddy, old Israel Quintero, is in the left lane. Like, okay, well, I got to hit the tree because the kid's not a slouch at all. Definitely not. He's a good racer. So we go up there, and as soon as I deck the car, it sneezes through the carburetor. I'm watching this thing, and it's like right in front of my face, and I'm like, well, you can let it actually kind of scared me because I decked it and it sneezed, and I think there was super glue on my thumb because my thumb was still stuck to the button, and I let go of the button and off we went, and the only thing in my head was like, well, you screwed that one up. You found another way to not win a gambler. Okay. Go down through there. Mind you, I was more focused on that it sneezed through the carburetor. Not paying attention to the fact that he went red in the left lane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So by the time it sneezed, you'd already won the round, or pretty close to
Yes.
it.
But
Yeah, 'cause
I did. I mean,
red in
I
a
was
big
down.
way.
It was. I mean, you look in the video, Caleb's video, you can see that poof, and I'm like, oh. So I come off the track, and there's the space between the guardrail and like where the camping slots are, and I normally come down that road, and I'm like, well, you suck. And I get up to the bottom of the tower, and my wife is jumping up and down. And I'm like, why are you jumping up and like in my head, I'm like, why are you jumping up and down? I didn't do anything. The thing sneezed, and I turned the car off, and she's, you won. And I'm like, what? That, there is no way. She's like, yeah, he was red. He was like 40 red or something like that. He wasn't really red, but he was 30 or 40 red.
Enough.
And my reaction time started with a 2.
Holy cow.
So there was that. So that ended Saturday for me, at least. Finally got the monkey off my back.
Nice.
Yeah, because you've never won a gambler class, right?
I've been down to 3. I've been
In
down
the
to
car.
4. I've been down to 5 in the car. I've been down to anywhere between 3 and 8 every time, and found a way to either shoot myself in the foot or just get beat. Can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Man.
Finally got it done.
Nice job, Joe.
Last 2 classes we had on Saturday. Sport 2, we actually saw 2 new vehicles. Clayton Teeters getting the win in his new Jeep. That's Mike Irwin's old ride.
Yes. Looking
redone
good, by the way.
Yeah, it looks really good, man. And he took the win over Heath McCrary, who's got a new buggy. He's with the Fauché camp.
Yep.
They call that buggy Slayer, and got just like the band and stuff, got the whole graphics on the side. Looks pretty cool.
Clayton actually had to do the same thing I did. Clayton had to win the class to win the championship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
and then
big husky dudes on top.
The last class of the evening was the Saturday ATV Gambler, and we had a father-son final with Braden and David Root on the Friday Car Gambler, and that was me and my dad on the Saturday Gambler. Both really good passes for us, but I got him a little bit more on the tree. I think I was like 0.29, he was 0.46 or something like that.
Treat him.
What's that, Steven?
You treat him.
I treat him just a little bit, and then just we both were pretty close to our dials, if I remember correctly. But really good race, and we were both stoked. It's always nice to be in the final with your dad and stuff. And I think we haven't kept an official record of our win-loss record against each other, but I think since we started looking at it, I think I'm up on him.
Oh.
I wouldn't say too much. He might make you sleep outside the motorhome. The grandbaby will sleep in there, and so will Julia. But you'll be sleeping outside.
So Saturday we kicked it off with junior classes, and Aubrey Pena out of Bakersfield. She went on to win the Pee Wee class, won the championship there. Well deserved. I mean that team, they do a good job. They just run consistent. They work those kids and do what they can do to help them be successful. And the whole Pena crew is just they're great to work with. Was glad to see her. Last season she lost it on the points plus thing, and so it was good for her to be able to rebound here. And then in the junior class, we had a couple of first time people making it to the finals. Kennedy Gluck, she's part of that ALC Underground camp out of Chino Valley, Arizona. They run all the Ford power plants and the dragsters. So she ran her quad to the junior win. Everybody in the top of the point standings in the junior class went out first or second round, so it didn't help them at all. But was glad to see Kennedy win. Then we had Pro 1, Pro 2, car and ATV. ATV, our man here, Caleb, pretty much stunk up the show. Just won both of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were talking about Joey only losing one round. I realized after the fact, I did the same thing. The only round that I lost was the Sport 1 ATV final. Yeah. So pretty freaking awesome weekend for Mings Racing.
Yeah, no doubt, man. That's rolling.
And I got the revenge over Tyler in the final of the Pro 1 class, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pro 1 car, we had Arnold Cox, Ford powered dragster. He went on to win the Pro 1 car event. That also gave him the championship. Pro 2 car, Pro 3 car, our boy here drove the chocolate milk wagon to the win.
The chocolate. I kind of like that, actually. Now just say that. That's a good name for that thing.
Now I can't paint my damn car.
You cannot. I already ordered the sticker.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, no, it was all the pro classes were competitive all the way top to bottom. Yeah. Tough. Like Joey had to earn it.
I want to give a shout out to the second place in Pro 1, Junior Alamut. So he came over from Hawaii, and he was kind of passing off driving duties with Kenny Hayes. So he was first time in the drag Jeep there. So obviously Junior's driven for a lot of different people, and he's always killer with it and hopped in there like it was nobody's business. And one thing we didn't talk about on Friday, that was something we posted as well. Another Hawaiian.
With, the Indian Scout guy.
Yeah, the Indian Scout with gosh, I'm blanking on his name.
John?
Canberra.
John? Jason? Something. He Junior told me the story. Junior's told me that guy he called Junior one day and said, you know what? I want to go to Dome Valley. And Junior's like, I just happen to know the people that run Dome Valley, or people that own the Dome Valley. And he's like, I just want to go to Dome Valley and race my bike. He said he wanted to go 590 or something like that. And Junior's like, all right, cool. I'll make it happen. And this guy's like, yeah, okay. Right, whatever. Junior made it happen. The guy gets on the track, and I didn't see it or anything, but Junior told me he went like 530.
Wow.
Loaded it up and took off. He went to El Mirage.
Yeah, so that's the thing that's cool. So he had help from Junior on this. He talked to Randy Williamson Gizmo to get like tire set up and everything for the bike. Went out there, ran very respectable. I truly think that with some extra practice, gear changes and stuff, he probably could take our AV twin record. Because he goes and races that bike at the quarter mile, and it runs in the 7s. Not 7s. Maybe I'm thinking 8th. I can't remember what it is, but he went to El Mirage too. Okay, the same weekend, and went 149.7 miles an hour at El Mirage.
Good night.
So, it's a cool little hat trick story for that. So, and it's Jack Canberra Jr.
Jack. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know. I thought that was so freaking cool. I was really bummed we didn't get to meet him in person, but I talked to him on the phone and got some videos and stuff, and then we'll post more about that later because it's definitely cool to see unique rides like that.
Absolutely, man. That thing's cool as heck. I would say this. Junior is like the West Coast version of Matt Peel. He'll just get in whatever and drive it. And somehow it gets down to like single-digit cars, and he's still there. I mean, that's how it's all the time.
He he made a lick in Kenny's Jeep Saturday night. Mind you, Kenny took all the Motec injection off that thing and put a carburetor on top of it. And Junior gets in it, I think Saturday night after the Gambler, and just rips off a 342 like nothing. Like,
Yeah,
oh hey,
which
here I am.
keep in mind that is so close to our C Pro Mod record, currently held by McAllister at a 339, I think.
Wow.
It was. Yeah, 339.5. Cam McAllister has the Pro Mod record. And then we were talking about it, and Cam's also got the mile an hour record at 100.2. And Kenny's like, yeah, I think we could put the scoops on there and get the ET record, and we'll throw the 2000s on there. We'll get a little bit more mile an hour out of it. So that may be something that is going to come in the future. So Cam better watch out. Maybe he's going to have to come and do some racing down in California, obviously with his home track out for commission right now. But yeah, so that was a lot of cool storylines. Now we can finally get into the heads up stuff.
All right, let's do it.
So
wait, I do have one more thing. I'm so sorry, Steven. I'm stealing the thunder. One more thing that was absolutely crazy. So we had the Nick Schultzman's crazy ride. We also had Brad Olson lose a tire in his Gixxer buggy rail thing, whatever we're calling it. It was the wildest thing. I mean, we went out there and thought, man, Craig's like, oh crap, did I put him in a hole and stuff? He launched dead to the guardrail. He was in the left lane, went out to the outside wall, and he's like, oh my gosh, what did I? Because Craig Durning's dragster was having a converter issues, so he was like, hey, I'm crew chief for the weekend. He's like, man, did I screw up my one job? No, we see a tire rolling away from the car.
It literally, I asked Brad about it. He said it literally snapped off right on the axle, right in the hub. And the tire just went. Crazy. I'm sitting in the stage lanes, and all I see is the wheelie bar in the freaking air, and the front's nosed into the wall.
That's crazy. Gear, so he struggled to get it to stop. It was just rolling right down the wall.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
He was okay though. Everything's good. They'll fix it. But that kind of put him. Oh, the crazy thing too was he was facing Jared Crawford in that pass. Jared broke out. Okay. Now I don't know, Steven. Maybe if you know what eventually happened with this, because they had the wrong dial-in for it.
Yeah.
Because he said, "Hey, dial me in at the class break." This was for Pro 2, which the bottom of Pro 2 is a 425. He ran a 425 with a 1, but they dialed him in at 426, which is for Pro 3's top. So a little screw up there, and I don't know if they did they rerun it, Steven?
Well, they were no. Brad couldn't rerun it.
Yeah. And I know they were like trying to see, like, could he get in a golf cart or something? Like he's like, I'll do whatever I need. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Right, now into heads up stuff.
All right, heads up stuff. All right.
So top alcohol, we came into the weekend. Eric Hickey and Bobby Cottrell tied for the points. And we knew Eric Hickey with the small block, that was kind of like bringing the knife to the gunfight with all the horsepower that these guys had, but as you know, he can make good passes and consistent and go fairly straight. So he was very high on his chances. And Joshua Miner, Nicholas Schultzman, and Jimmy DePass all went out first round. But Jim Hammond, who nobody started to think about thinking he was too far back in the points with not that many cars, went out, set fast time at 262, I believe it was, and got those bonus points. Well, him and Eric Hickey go all the way to the final, and it comes down to whoever wins the race wins the points championship. And Jim Hammond did just that. Eric Hickey gave him everything that small block could throw at him and then some, and Hammond had just enough to get him on the top end.
Wow. Yeah, and Hammond was fighting issues, all weekend long. They never made a full clean A to B pass to that car. Qualifying, they I think they lifted some valves, and then in that final pass, they actually I know I got a kind of okay photo of it, but he was pushing out a head gasket, nice little
There were
fireball coming
sparks
out the
everywhere.
side.
There was
Yeah,
sparks
yeah.
flying.
that thing was hurt for sure.
Yeah.
So
And now we're saying Jim is going to be done at some point in time here. I mean, is that still kind of the theory? Or
he keeps talking about retirement, but I think he's going to at least be back out for the East versus West race because he's going to see some old friends and stuff there, and it'd be he's talking that they're running this season on hurt parts, and that the goal is to have some good parts for that last race. So I know that he's even though he got the points championship and the class win, he was a little bummed because they like to see that car running the 240s, and that 260 pass was the best that they got out of this weekend. So he's looking to put the car in, and he still wants to get that 30. Like that's definitely the goal.
Man, that would be something, I gotta say. I mean, that is some rare air down there. Wow.
Stick around, Jim. There's some cars out there now, so it's a lot funner.
Well, it was also 80. It was also mid 80s, almost 90 degrees one of the days. So
and humid too. So
so it's like typical August in Michigan.
Yeah. It was definitely not November weather, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
It was hot and humid, and he didn't make a full pull, and he ran 262.
Yeah.
So,
he was 008 on the tree in the final.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, it
I
was
want to
right
say,
on top of it.
Hey, man,
008.
if you're not sure if your car is going to do the job, at least do your job.
Yes. Eric told me, he's like, we left. I didn't see him until just before half track. And then he's like, all I watched was fireworks. Just
wow.
out the side. I don't know if it actually windowed anything. I seen sparks from the starting line.
Yeah, I don't think it windowed anything, but they're pushing on a valve on it or head gasket or something. It was
that was Hickey's best pass of the weekend, and that was the straightest the car went the whole weekend.
Yeah,
and it went 84. It went 84.
Wow.
Yeah. He still is having issues with tires. So if anybody's got a good set of super scoopers, I don't know what size he's looking for, but
Eric's in the market, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Absolutely.
In the market.
Track, but we're all waiting on Scat Track to get back.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's not?
Yeah.
Not me. I'm not waiting. I got 2000s on my Jeep.
There you go.
Damien, look at there. Another guy with 2000s.
Yeah, but I doubt they're gonna have any good sets out there for salaries for cheap.
No,
Nope.
no.
They're $2,000 plus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damien has 2000 NV at this point. So all right, let's move on. Top Eliminator 295. We've got a stat class. We've got everything from blown big blocks to the 4-cylinder Cody Hoffman. What do we got, gents?
So basically, what it boiled down to is coming into the race, Hoffman and Tristan Graham were right up at neck and neck at the top of the points, and we knew whoever was going to win this deal had to go rounds. And with Paul Graham going out and getting the 50 bonus points for being number one qualifier, he threw his name into the hat. And amongst the top 4, there was 50 points separating them. And being points plus, instead of being 80, 100, 60, 40, it's 150, 80, 60, 40. So plus the points for qualifying. So we go out and race all day going through eliminations. Saw incredibly fast passes, people running right at that number. And Eric Brown, delayed reaction dragster, rookie to the top eliminator class this year. He was the Dome Valley Raceway Pro 1, Pro 2, all sorts, 3 division champion last year, and he actually tied for a 4th one. And him and Craig Durney decided that instead of one person taking the trophy and one person taking the plaque, they're going to run it off, and there's going to be one champion, and Eric lost the runoff. So he goes on, first year in top eliminator, wins his first race, being the last race of the season, jumps everybody, and wins the points championship as well.
Wow, congratulations to Eric. That's awesome, man.
And
like
he
we
went through some
said,
tough customers. I mean,
yeah,
I know he beat Pruitt Schultz in
He
the
beat both the
semis.
Schultz.
Yeah, he
He
beat both the
broke
Schultz
both of
back to
Schultz,
back.
Yeah.
Wade and Pruitt. He got a competition bye round number 1 because of a motor failure on the Puños car, and then the way the 17 car bracket shakes out, the number 2 qualifier or the winner of that race will get a bye second round anyways, and the didn't have to race anybody till round number 3. Then got Wade and Pruitt, and when he beat both of them, had to line up against Cody Hoffman, who went through Graham, Tristan Graham, and Nafzinger, and guys that he could have went out first round just as easy, and that they've got that 4-cylinder A fuel car absolutely on rails. His passes on Sunday were 297, 297, 298, 2945, 292.
wow,
And he ended up breaking out in the finals, but like that car is just fast and consistent, and
yeah,
he moved up this year to top eliminator as well, and those two, Brown and Hoffman, they made the rest of the top eliminator class, not just at Dome Valley, in my opinion, but anywhere those two want to go. I think people are going to stand up and take notice because first year in top eliminator, and they took it to some veterans, and didn't just get lucky by beating them. They ran the number all
yeah,
weekend.
yeah. I know you're 100% right. Very true.
That and next year, Cody's dad, Steve, the original driver of the Smooth Sucker car, he's coming out with another build. So there'll be a 2-car team at that point, double the data, double the trouble from the Hoffman guys. And talking to Cody, he's going to stay in the Smooth Sucker, and they're talking about, well, we might do a little throwback paint or wrap on that so it'll look like the old school car.
Nice.
It's got to come up with a whole new shtick for his car, but it's going to be really exciting to see them have 2 vehicles in the field there.
Are they both going to run top eliminator, or is one of them going to go back fast 4s?
Nope, that's the plan. They say that if they see, though, they may run A fuel in the East versus West. Cody says he likes going rounds. Like, it's cool to go out there and it definitely puts it, him back in the seat of the car when he's going out there running, 270s. But it's like, I want to race more than one person. He says if there's ever an event where there's 4 or more cars in the A fuel category, he'll jump in there and they'll turn it up. But said it's much better racing, and it's a little bit easier on the parts too. They can make that thing run 290s all day long.
A lot like the rows out here. There's
Exactly.
not much for them to really turn the wick up on the car or get the buggy out and really turn the wick up on it, because it's really hard on the buggy just to run the 295. So they just focus on that dragster running 295s with it and clean house with it.
Yeah. No, I would agree. So, well, it sounds like a great season.
Yeah, it was great. I think this race here, with especially the turnout for top eliminator, I think this is a glimpse of what we're going to see on that East versus West deal, and I think there's the Schultz proved it. The Schultz are fast. They came out right. They Wade went to the finals in the one race. He came out earlier this year. They come out and you line up against them. You're going to have to turn the number, and they made guys stand up and beat them. And that East versus West deal is going to be impressive. It's going to be extremely hard to win that, and I'm excited.
I agree, man. I think it's going to be something. John Sorg has disappeared. Oh, well, look at there.
Time. Oh, there you go.
What is up?
You take a
how
little
many, John? How many do you think we're going to get for top eliminator?
Oh, goodness. If I was going to take just a wild shot, I'd say at least 24.
Wow. That's something else.
I think it's going to be massive.
As Steven was talking of top limiter being a little glimpse of what we're going to expect on the East meets West challenge coming up in March, John Sorg, one of the guys behind that, has rejoined us after a small siesta. Johnny, what are the dates for the East Meets West Challenge?
March 12th through the 15th.
All right. Very good. And what could somebody expect if they're going to come to race at the East Meets West?
You're basically gonna expect a lot of the standard classes with a couple additions. You're gonna roll into Thursday with a test and tune. You'll have Friday with their normal test and tune rolling into the program, and Saturday, Sunday standard kind of program.
All right.
A couple additions, but yes, and it'll be enhanced and all that other good stuff. But details to come.
My question is, we haven't gotten into the pro mod results from this race yet, but I know that there's a few short wheelbase front engine cars that are going to come over, and I'm wondering how many of them are going to want to try their luck in the pro mod class for people that are normally top eliminator competitors. We saw Kyle Farwick come over and do some testing earlier in the year. And I know that we've got a few other guys that have some pretty fast front engine hot rods. Do you have any insider info on that, John?
I won't speculate because I wouldn't do that to you, but you just never know.
So that means yes.
That means you just never know. I think a couple things got to pan out in place for that to happen, but I think it's possible.
Okay. Steven, you want to get into some of the crazy action we saw on Pro Mod Unlimited to wrap us up?
That's there wasn't the biggest turnout, 3 cars, but nonetheless, it was 3 guys that can get it done. Jimmy DePass, the Fuelish American, Bobby Cottrell, and that Chris Miner Racing, Flower Power, they call it, Nicholas Schultzman and Blue Bayou. Jimmy DePass went fast qualifier 260. Absolute just, and that was another deal, kind of like Hammond. There was more there. It just didn't go very straight. He drove it. There was more there. He ends up gets the benefit of the bye. Schultzman gets around Cottrell first round. Cottrell had motor problems, and it was DePass and Schultzman lining up for the finals. Schultzman gets around him. DePass had some issues, uncharacteristic run for him, but Schultzman goes on, not only wins the event, wins the points championships, coming from behind everybody else that was in the field. Not somebody that you kind of thought was going to be up there, but that was the theme. That was the theme in more than half the classes, right? Like top eliminator, top alcohol, pro mod, pro 1 car went that way. Pro 2 car, Braden Root had that wrapped up. Pro 3 car went that way. I mean, most of them, right? Pro 1 ATV, Pro 2 ATV, the points champions kind of had that sewed up. But Clayton Teeter in Sport 2 won the event, went around everybody to win the championship. Marcus Rydell, Sport 2 ATV, went all the way to the finals. That was enough for him to jump everybody and win the championship. Joey Weaver, we talked about this just a few minutes ago. Sport 1 ran the bracket, wins the championship. Sport 1 ATV, Dominic Pena.
I got this close.
Dominic Pena went 1 round enough to make it so that when Mr. Mings here didn't get around Tyler couldn't catch Dominic, but if Caleb won, he would have jumped them both and been the champion. So it was there were maybe 4 or 5 classes that were sewed up because the guys like Braden Root in 395 index, this past weekend was the only event that he didn't win this year, and he finished second. Right, so his points total in 395 index was 610, and second place was 280. He put the hurting on those guys, right?
Wow.
Almost every other points championship was settled by 40 or 50 points, or and most of them, the guy like Shane Crum, 395 index ATV, won the event, jumped around everybody, and that's only because Fuller and Pena went out first round. So
Gotcha. No, sounds great and very impressive. I mean, it was a heck of a weekend.
It was definitely an awesome weekend. Oh, another cool story that to jump back into the top alcohol class that Steven just reminded me of with Bobby Cottrell in the Flower Power Jeep. They were pulling double duty running Pro Mod and top alcohol. And all weekend they kind of figured something was going away with the Jeep. They ran the Pro Mod first round and lost that to Nick Schultzman. And then in top alcohol in the semifinals, he still had against Eric Hickey. And of course, we're talking about Eric bringing that small block knife to the gunfight. Well, they made a little bet with Mr. Chris Miner that if Eric was they were going to race for a team shirt. So Chris was going to give him a shirt if he beat him, and Hickey was going to give him a shirt if they got around him. Well, that was the final pass that the Flower Power had before just grenading the whole intake manifold on that Jeep. And it was a pretty gnarly deal. I went down there, the blower lifted, intake manifold completely blew out the back, actually burst panels and everything went through the firewall of the Jeep. Ended up next to Bobby. The car caught on fire. Luckily, the fire department was down there and they were quick on it and got it, put out. But it was just another one of those wild stories, and it was really funny. He was down there, and Eric went over, checked to make sure that Bobby was okay. He was out of the car and good, all good and everything. And Chris comes over and literally rips the shirt right off his back and throws it to Hickey.
That's awesome.
Sure, it's like, not the way I wanted to get it, but another fun little story that happened that weekend.
Right.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like a great weekend. That's about as good as it gets. So, well, gents, I think that's going to wrap up the results section and race results and somewhat preview section, as we get a little preview in there for the upcoming East Meets West Challenge. Anything we want to close out this section with?
Don't race against Joey Weaver or Caleb Bings.
Apparently not. Apparently not at Dome anyway. So, all right. So that is going to wrap up the results section of the Paddle Talk podcast for episode 98.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to episode 98 here on the Paddle Talk podcast. A little bit of a wardrobe change because editor's note, make sure you hit record before starting a new segment when we have to bounce between different sessions. So joining me today is Damian Bowers. We're going to get into everything that we already said on a previous recording. But first, we need to pay the bills. We want to thank Racing in the Dirt, located in Cleveland, Wisconsin, with over 40 years of experience racing in the sand, dirt, and mud drags. Racing in the Dirt has everything from hub components, chain drives, all the way up to full chassis builds that will get you going really quick in the 100-foot, 200-foot, 300-foot, whatever your length of track is. They got you covered with some awesome builds and parts and components to get you going there. So give them a call at area code 920-693-2000. Visit them at racinginthedirt.com or on social media, and they will get you set for the 2026 season. That's racinginthedirt.com, area code 920-693-2000. We also want to thank Silverback Offroad Speedway. Located in Mears, Michigan, Silverback Offroad Speedway is a premier sand drag facility along with hill climbs and short course racing. You can check them out online and on social media as they prepare for their 2026 season. Visit them on the web at silverbackspeedway.com or give them a call once they got their 2026 schedule up at 231-629-6379. That's 231-629-6379. And while you're at Silverback Off-Road Speedway, you might as well hit up the Silver Lake Sand Dunes, located just outside the area of the track. If you're going to go and do that, don't waste it with your race car. Don't try to take your daily in there. Hit up Silverback Off-Road Rentals. They have premium ATVs, side-by-sides, and Jeeps waiting for you to rent and take a nice sunset excursion all the way up to a full day trip in the dunes. Located right outside the entrance to the dunes there, so you can drop off that daily, pick up your rental, and head on in. Season opens April 1st of 2026, so make your reservations now at silverbackoffroad.com. Last but not least, we want to thank 31 Go Life. Go and visit them on YouTube, and you can see Doug Vinlett and the crew as they do some trucking, some race cars, some talking. They've got the Dirt podcast that is pretty new, and they talk a little bit of smack talk, some what we call some bench racing, talks in the lanes and everything like that. So visit them, 31 Go Life. That's the number 3 ONEGO Life on YouTube to see all the content there. All right, Damien, we're back. Damien's keeping the continuity going. He's got the hat and the shirt. I'm messing up the whole vibe here, but you know what? It is what it is. So
I just got to remember what all we said yesterday.
Yeah, that is going to be our hard part here. So we're getting into our preview. So Isaac not able to join us here. We had some people dip out anyways. John had a work emergency on our last recording. Steven Fangmeyer had to bounce. His voice was killing him from announcing all weekend. We are going to talk about the last couple races that we know of here coming up at the end of the year. This coming weekend, we got 2 of them. So the first one, we've talked about it already on the pod, is at Texas Sand Motorplex, located in Fort Hancock, Texas. The 14th of November, they're going to be having a test and tune. That's just going to be open track. And they said, we had Dave on a couple weeks ago, said they typically don't do that, but this is a little bit bigger event. So they're having an open test and tune on the 14th. And then the 15th, they're actually going to do a full race event. Classes for basically everything are going to be there. They've got the whole unified no bar outlaw classes. So you've got your 421s, your outlaw, your stock arm. All of those bad boys are going to be there. They'll run all those classes heads up, and then they will run a lot of the Texas stuff. And I know you're a little bit more interested in that, Damien, because they've got a lot of 4-wheel drive Jeep classes and things like that.
Hopefully see a lot of the mud draggers from around that area make their way down to Texas Sand Motorplex. I know Texas, they do some odd stuff. They got some tracks run 250 foot instead of 200 or 300. I kind of wonder where that came from. But
who knows, man? It's interesting.
But they got some really great trucks and Jeeps down in Texas. Might see some of the Mexican crowd show up. You might see some of the Arizona crowd show up. There's all sorts of Jeeps, trucks, and even some badass dragsters down that way.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking here just on the Texas Sand Motorplex page. We've got Hitman from Albuquerque, New Mexico, who just raced out at Edinburgh last weekend, a couple weekends ago.
Yeah, this past weekend.
Yeah, last weekend. So, man, back-to-back race weekends for that team. The El Hulk from the Tequila Mud Racing team who also was out in Edinburgh there. So a lot of those guys did some Edinburgh racing. We've got, tons of bikes and stuff going out there. I've seen a bunch of really fast no-bar bikes are going to be out there. We know Dave Villanueva is probably going to have his 2 dragsters in like their open class. So lots of good racing action there in Fort Hancock, Texas. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out to them at Texas Sand Motorplex on Facebook. And that's, again, November 14th for Test and Tune, and then November 15th for the racing. The last upcoming race that we have is they've got the final event here of the season for the Homochitto dirt drags out in, where is that again, Damien? It's McCall. McCall Creek, Missouri.
Mississippi.
Mississippi, not Missouri. My bad.
You might have some people lost on that one.
Oh man, that would we'd be putting some weird spots there. But yeah, so the Homochitto guys, as we talked about previously, they've got all the old track grading equipment from Jeff Gio's Northeast Louisiana sand drag track. So they've got a nice do-all, a big roller. So the track is always prepped. This is an ATV only event. Maybe we'll have some car racing there eventually. Time will tell.
Possibility. I mean, Mississippi's kind of a hotbed for full-size trucks.
Mm-hmm. And I think that they would definitely like the surface there. We've seen a lot of the track prep. They've got a whole bunch of water down. They're saying it's going to be tacky for this last event.
As personal experience, it's a lot easier to take cars to a bike track than it is to take bikes to a car track.
That is very true. Very true indeed. The only thing you got to worry about sometimes when you got a full size on a ATV track is if they've got pretty narrow lanes, but they've got pretty decent lanes there at Homochitto. So
that's what it looks like.
I think,
very similar to Gilbert.
Exactly. And we've seen top alcohol cars make some exhibition passes there.
Yeah.
And run some quick times too, if might add.
Mm-hmm.
So they are going to be doing that the 14th and 15th, kind of the same setup as the Texas Sand Motorplex race. Test and Tune is going to be November 14th. They're doing that 3 p.m. till 10 p.m. 15th, they are going to test and tune from noon till 3. And then at 4 o'clock, they are going to do an ET bracket class. So that is a $50 buy-in per bike. 75% goes to first place, 25% to second place. And entry fee for anybody looking to just get in there is $15 per person, $20 per bike. That gets you into the test and tune. And kids 10 and under are free. And that is located at 6333 Highway 84, McCall Creek, Missouri. Mississippi. I keep saying Missouri. It's Mississippi. Oh my gosh. See, this is why we get it right. Days. We get it right the first time. And then we screw it up the second time. That's how we go about this. So those are the only previews we have. Damien, anything pop up that you noticed since yesterday that we forgot to record this?
Not in the dirt world, but what a bunch of us over here have been really reaching out trying to see the IHRA we want to convince the IHRA to come play in the dirt, but they have announced they're going full-time 8th mile with all of their...
Whoa. Well, let's save that for the news segment, sir.
I thought we were at the news already.
We're going in that a little bit. We do want to do a quick little recap. If you guys are watching this in order, we went over a lot of the points results from the Dome Valley Raceway Arizona Sand Drag Championship, but I don't think we hit all of them, so we're just going to go and run through them really quick. And then we'll get into our news segment.
Okay, yeah. So, sorry, I forgot. You can cut that bit out.
No, we're good. We'll leave it in there. We're going to go through from their Friday classes through to their Sunday schedule. So their Friday classes starting out the 395 index car. Points championship went to Braden Root, who also took the class win. He took the second place in the event. But the runner-up for the points championship going to teammate Jeffrey Callis. The 395 Index ATV, we saw Shane Crum come up from kind of middle of the pack. He took the event win and the points championship over Dominic Pena. 450 Index car, Jared Fauché remained on top, but Joseph Weaver coming in there for his event win. The extra points on that put him in the runner-up position for the points championship. Sport 1 ATV went to Dominic Pena over Tyler Hanrahan, who, after not racing half the season, came up and had some 2 first places, I believe, in the last 2 events. So that put him good enough into the number 2 spot. Sport 1 car, we saw Joseph Weaver going out there doing some really good laps there this last event, and he was able to take away the points championship for Sport 1 over Kenzie Rex, which we were looking at that. Kenzie's had a new car out that didn't really make a lot of competition passes. Entered in the class just to get enough points, but we were thinking maybe if she had kept the old car in there and just finished out the season, maybe could have held on to that points championship, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So Joey Weaver getting first in Sport 1 car. Sport 2 ATV went to Marcus Rydell. He put on a pretty dominant performance in that class over Aubrey Pena. Clayton Teeter got the points championship in Sport 2 car over Jared Fauché. So Jared up on there, first place in 450 and second in the Sport 2 car. Aubrey Pena getting second place in that Sport 2 ATV, and she actually was also racing in the Pee-wees division, and she walked away with the points championship over Nathan Matus. So awesome job to the Pena racing team being on here several different times. In the juniors category, Drake McCrary gets the points championship over Aubrey Fauché. So both of those guys coming out of the same racing camp there. Pro 1 ATV, my pops, Randy Mings, he walked away with the points championship over myself with my first place in Pro 1 ATV. Ended up getting enough to get in that second position. And Dad, man, he had that points championship on lockdown. I think all I had to do was show up. That's always nice.
Yeah, it makes life easy.
Pro 1 car, we saw Arnold Cox out of that ALC Underground team take the win over his teammate, Sam Atkins. So they had that class on lockdown. Those guys out of Chino Valley, Arizona. Pro 2 ATV, Marcus Rydell getting another points championship there. So took both the Pro 2 and Sport 2 ATVs. And I end up getting around Marcus in the final round and enough points to put myself in second there. So 2 runner-ups in the points championship.
Good job on that.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Pro 2 car, Braden Root, again on here. He got the points championship over Brad Olson, which if you guys go back to our previous discussion, yeah, Brad had some interesting elimination rounds there with losing his tire on his little mini buggy dragster deal. We need to come up with a name for that. Skeletor 2? Like, we need to figure out something with that. Let's see.
Well, I mean, it predates Skeletor, don't it?
I'm not sure. Well, technically, no. Technically, Skeletor has been around for a long time in different configurations.
Okay.
They built that a long time ago and shuttered it and then brought it back out and fixed it.
When there was an unlimited record to break.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the previous version of that car, when it was still an ATV, that definitely predates Skeletor by quite a bit.
Right.
We still need to come up with a name for it, though. Moving on into Pro 3 car, David Root, that's Braden's dad, getting the points championship over teammate Jeffrey Callis. So Jeffrey, the bridesmaid in a couple different classes there. Top alcohol, we mentioned that Jim Hammond was able to come and sneak in there with the extra bonus points for the number 1 qualifier and stole the show, won the event over Eric Hickey, who took second place in the top alcohol points. Kind of same thing happened with top eliminator with Eric Brown. He was a little bit lower down in the points standings there, still within striking distance, and he went all the way, won the event over runner-up Cody Hoffman. So Cody took second place of the event and in the points championship there. Pro Mod, we saw Nick Schultzman kind of struggle throughout the season, but put down enough laps and end up really walking away with the Pro Mod Championship over Jimmy DePass. And then in Unlimited ATV, we didn't see that contested at the championship race, but Mike Brock was the sole entry in that class, a few different other events. So on his laydown 3-wheeler called Extreme, and that gives him the points championship for that class. And that is all of our points. All right. Now, let's get into those news. Let's bring up that new topic you're talking about. IHRA drag racing. Doing something different. Controversial, maybe.
Yeah, especially with as many people were hoping to see Top Fuel in the U.S. going back quarter mile, even if it was IHRA and not NHRA. Don't seem like that's going to happen. They're going 8th mile full time.
You know what? I think the fossils out there that say that the only real drag racing is done in a quarter mile need to get with the program. And 8th mile is more exciting. It puts the action closer to the crowd. You're not squinting down at the finish line when you're at the starting line to figure out what happened. You've got more tracks you can run at, because if you're an 1/8 mile facility, you're set. If you're a 1/4 mile facility, guess what? You still can run 1/8 mile. So I think it's going to benefit how many different facilities they can actually run at. I think it's going to be better on the teams. They can actually go and really go balls to the wall. We've seen this in the pro mod world, how quick the 1/8 mile pro mod scene is getting. Think about how much better these teams are going to be able to focus on the acceleration instead of the longevity of these engines trying to go 1/4 mile racing.
It's one of those things. At the same time, I agree, but at the same time, something about seeing the top speeds they see in the 1/4 mile. Just look at what we're seeing in the door slammer world with World Cup finals this past weekend. Amazing racing all weekend long, lots of oil downs and crashes. So unfortunately, unable to get that finished. And then the craziness of seeing a door car almost dipping into the fours. He lifted.
And I'll admit that's cool. That's cool.
He lifted before the 1,000-foot marker, thinking that was the 1/4 mile marker because he's not used to accelerating that quick, and still went a 5.11 at 260 miles an hour coasting. That's
pretty cool. And I admit I would love to see a 4-second door car, but when we're talking, I think a lot of people really get kind of into the controversial side of things when we're talking about top fuel dragster and funny car. And when you're talking about the top speeds, Damien, we're already seeing the top teams, when they're trying to go 1,000-foot racing, end up going 300 miles an hour in the 8th.
I have not checked out that data myself. I know they were dipping 260, 270 this past weekend at their races they were running 1/8 mile at.
Well, I'm looking at a data that I know, like Brittany Forrest, which she's the most well-funded team out there, okay, and the fastest car on the planet when it comes to top field drag racing. But they a couple times have hit that 300 mile mark, and then many other times have been just shy of it. Now, and again, that's them trying to go for a 1,000-foot course.
Oh yeah, so imagine the gear changing and going.
Exactly.
Could we see sub 3 seconds to the 8th?
That would be pretty impressive. I mean, come on, like that's what gets me excited about the 8th mile change with it. I think it's different something that's necessary. It's completely different challenges. And my picture's gone.
Disappeared.
That's fine. I'm sorry. Nobody wants to. I look better in that photo anyway.
Yeah,
I'm excited for some of the challenges with that, and I do think extra benefit. Like I said, the action's going to be more in front of the crowd. Parts, it should be a little bit easier on them for all the race teams. They're going to spend less money in fuel. That's an absolute given. But I do think the parts attrition and risk of blowing up, oiling down the track is going to be a little bit lessened. We've seen that happen when they went from 1/4 mile to the 1,000-foot. That did lessen the oil downs within NHRA drag racing. And I think going 8th, that's, now we just got to get that, as you were talking about, the import versus domestic finals. I think we need to go and do something like we've seen from the Volkswagen side of the world. They need to do some oil containment devices on these cars.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially in the asphalt world. It's not like in the dirt where, oh hey, we oiled down. Either go shovel it out real quick or just till the track and it's gone.
Yeah. And like they didn't get the whole event done, and a lot of that came from oil downs. Some parts breakage and stuff like that. I saw one photo of a nice drive shaft making an exit. Pretty mangled.
Definitely positives for bringing import versus domestic to the dirt. No oil downs.
Yeah, come on, guys. Come on.
It's only 300 feet, you know, so you can launch them even harder.
World Sand Drag News will gladly put a front-wheel drive record in the record books for you guys. Absolutely. Done deal. Not even done. Okay? And you know what? We'll even let you run whatever slipper clutch, stick shift craziness that's maybe gray area in the rules.
As long as that rear tire isn't throwing a roost up on itself.
There you go. Yeah, that was another interesting thing. I know there's a couple different cars that were getting protested in the stick shift class.
Oh, definitely. And there was a lot of protesting going on throughout the whole weekend, but yeah, the stick shift was the biggest one. It was a car that just barely made the field. It was an RX-8 doing something unheard of in the stick shift class, and that's shifting during the burnout. You would think, oh, that's going to break some stuff, but able to do it, and everyone in that class saw the writing on the walls like, so we're allowed to run basically automatics now?
Yeah.
That's not stick shift to me. To me, stick shift class, they shouldn't even get the trick shifters. They should have an H pattern box in there.
I agree with that. I think that's what, you know what I would love to actually see is them go and partner with a transmission company and say, you have to run this transmission.
Well, that's the one thing they can't do, especially with the varying different drive lines. They've got cars running all-wheel
That's
drive,
true.
front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive. So they've got so many different rules in, but what the rules state is you're supposed to run a stock style transmission. Well, that RX-8 has a transmission built from the ground up by a company called G-Force. So is that considered stock?
Sure. That is always the gray area. What is considered when you say stock style? That's not saying stock. That's saying style. What
Yep.
does that mean? Does that mean it has to look like a stock transmission? It has to kind of work like a stock transmission? Like,
Or is it got to
who
be
knows?
a stock transmission?
Exactly. So a little bit of a gray area there, and I'm sure those classes are gonna definitely change over the years here.
Oh yeah, I definitely see a change coming in the rules this winter for World Cup for next year, especially and FL2K in the stick shift classes specifically. Another class that I saw a team get protested. Apparently, they had to tear their engine down for protest multiple times throughout qualifying on the weekend in the all motor class, a front wheel drive car.
I think I saw the two. It was like it was a black car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Multiple times checking for bore and stroke on it, and you know, that is kind of crazy. You know, I mean, look, I get it when somebody's going a lot quicker than you think they should, and
Oh
you're
yeah.
not going as quick as them. I get it's easy to protest. It does suck that it happened multiple times, though.
And coming from seeing it happen, because we do the class racing out here still at Gravelrama at least for one more year. East Coast is still hardcore class racing out there, and the ultimate sign of respect and kind of people getting angry at you, but they still, if your stuff's legal and you get protested and you pass that protest,
Oh,
oh yeah, that is a big, like, oh yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. That's a big, nice, like smile, grin, playful middle finger, like.
Definitely.
So yeah, we'll definitely stick close and see how the rules and stuff there change for World Cup, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what IHRA does. And yeah, IHRA, if you are ever listening, we definitely would love to see you in the sand, and we
Yeah,
can.
Durana. We'd love to see a Durana Motorsports Park dirt track somewhere. I
Yeah, there
want
we
to see
go.
that. I want to see how much or how high end we can get a dirt drag track here in the States. Because
You know what? I think there's a lot of room for growth there. Even the best facility out there, uh, if we had that kind of money behind it, we could put on quite a show.
oh, definitely.
So we'll see. I think that's pretty much everything we went through. We didn't have a
Um,
lot to cover.
I know NHRA also announced the return to a track, but for the first time for an actual points paying national event this year, or I mean this coming
Oh
year,
yes,
Rockingham. The Rock.
yeah. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I do remember we talked briefly about 2026 schedules, both on pavement and on dirt, and we know that MRA's got their schedule up. I've
Franklin
seen,
County's got a preliminary schedule that is not out public yet, but they're trying to get the fair board to approve it. They are also trying to check with the other tracks to get the Outlaws dates ironed out,
yeah,
obviously for Silverback and for Cleves. And who knows, there may be some other tracks and other promotions or promoters looking to put some races on around this part of the country as well.
Yeah, definitely. I know that they've got also a tentative schedule out for the Region B with East Coast four-wheel drive.
Yep.
Dome Valley has their 2026 schedule, as well as the Avenel Sand Drags and Southern California Sand Drag Association in Lake Elsinore. So knock on wood that everything goes good and they get their first race out the year. And then, yeah, enter with their 2026 schedule and return to Rockingham. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, especially being as it's their first time going there for a points event. They held some events in the '90s that were invitationals. The Rock, more commonly more commonly referred to when you hear about IHRA or ADRL or just door slammer racing in general, as one of the birthplaces of pro mod in that part of the country where it came from. Pro modified was generally a southeastern U.S. class, and that's kind of where it came from, is that part of the country.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how it's evolved over the years. But if you guys are having a 2026 schedule, please let us know. We did a really poor job of it this year, but we would love to be able to put your schedules on worldsandragnews.com. We want to have that as the kind of Bible for all sand drag racing, whether you're in the States or abroad. Give us your schedule. Let us know where the track is located. And, if you got event names or it's just test and tune, race one, whatever it is, we'd love to put you on there so that people can come and have a nice central place where it's easy to find events to go to.
Oh, definitely.
You let us know.
And as someone who himself, I enjoy just going out and finding, oh, hey, there's races here, there's races there. In the mud, sand, dirt, whether it be a mud bog, hill and hole, fast tracks, dirt drags, sand drags, KOI, you get your schedule, let us know. We'll put the dates on our calendar.
Oh,
That's
KOI,
a lot of dates.
KOI, when you guys get, Lewis, you get that schedule set, we could do it, but we're going to keep it very brief.
Oh, yeah.
Man,
We're
I don't
just
know.
going to say, KOI,
man, that's going to be hard.
KOI hard pack, KOI fast track, KOI mud bog. That's what they've got.
Yeah. I was just thinking about how many events that they do, and
the
how we
area
can put it
they
in our
cover.
calendar. Yeah, well, that's the other issue, right? Like it's easy when it's one track, and we can just say, "Hey, it's this track. Here's all the dates." But they're all over the place, so we'll try to work with them as best we can with that. So yeah, Lewis, if you get us a schedule with that, we'll see what we can do to smack that in there. But
Definitely.
for all of you guys that have normal 300-foot, less events than KOI does, do let us know because we definitely want to give you guys some representation.
Right. And anyone, if you can give us full flyers and such, that's another big help. But the biggest thing is just like I said, we need to have people giving us this information, because if we're going to report on it, so whether we report on, say, MRA, Texas mud drags, go to Lisbon or go to Tucker County and report on that, we need to know what's going on there. We need results. We need pictures. We need the information of the event coming up to that date. If you want it promoted on the podcast, get us flyers a month or so in advance so we can plan out to where we can promote it here on the podcast even better.
Absolutely. And especially with race results and stuff, tag us in there. If you guys are already posting things up on your individual Facebook pages, sometimes we don't see that. And we would love to be able to give a shout out to all of your racers and talk on the podcast, or at least post about it. So tag us, World Sand Drag News, on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is. And we will try our best to make sure that we get some coverage for you guys. Big or small track does not matter. We definitely just want to talk more about sand drag racing.
Definitely.
All right. Well, Damien, I think that about covers it for our little flub. Once again, this is our take 2 here with a smaller cast for myself and Damien Bowers. This has been Paddle Talk episode 98. And once again, want to thank our sponsors, Racing in the Dirt, Silverback Offroad Speedway, Silverback Offroad Rentals, and 3-1 Go Life. We are going to be moving to a longer production time here. We're going to do every 2 weeks, I think, for the podcast just as we kind of slow down here at the end of the season. We're getting into the holidays and everything. So expect the next episode of Paddle Talk 2 weeks from now. If you guys have any topics or questions or anything that you would like us to discuss, make sure you drop it in the comments or DM us. And we would love to, have some cool stuff to talk about here in 2 weeks.
Oh, definitely. And we've got some stuff that we want to try and do over this winter. So hopefully we're able to get some of that content recorded this winter. We'll see how things work out.
Absolutely. All right, guys. This has been Paddle Talk, episode 98. We'll see you next time.